Welcome to our channel Should I Go? Now, if you're joining us hoping for a light-hearted jaunt through America's best petting zoos, you've come to the wrong place. Today, we're diving into a considerably less adorable, significantly more serious topic, the top 7 most dangerous cities in America. Yes, we're about to embark on a grim road trip, one where the landmarks aren't charming diners or quirky roadside attractions, but rather grim statistics and stories of crime that would make even the most hardened detective wince. So buckle up, dear viewers. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Stay tuned to find out which cities made the list, and perhaps more importantly, why. First stop on our not-so-delightful tour, St. Louis, Missouri. Now I know what you're thinking. The Gateway Arch? Home of the toasted ravioli? What could possibly go wrong? Well, a lot, as it turns out. St. Louis consistently ranks high on the list of most dangerous cities, and 2025 is unfortunately no exception. We're talking a violent crime rate nearly 4 times the national average. To put that in perspective, walking around St. Louis is a bit like playing a real-life game of Russian roulette. But instead of one bullet, there are, well, far too many bullets to be comfortable with. In 2024 alone, the city recorded a staggering 200 homicides. That's roughly 1 homicide every other day, and it's not just the numbers that are grim. St. Louis has been plagued by a series of high-profile crimes, from carjackings in broad daylight to shootings in what should be safe public spaces. It's enough to make you want to invest in a suit of armor, or perhaps just stay home and watch reality TV, where the only danger is a bad spray tan. But joking aside, the situation in St. Louis is serious. And it's a stark reminder that behind these statistics are real people, real lives impacted by violence and fear. Next stop on our American crime tour is Detroit, Michigan. Once a symbol of industrial might, Detroit has faced decades of economic hardship, and with it, a surge in crime. Now, it's important to note that Detroit is more than just its crime rate. This is a city with a rich history, a vibrant culture, and a resilient spirit. However, there's no sugarcoating the fact that Detroit has struggled, and continues to struggle, with high levels of violent crime. But here's the thing about Detroit. This city isn't giving up. In recent years, Detroit has implemented a number of initiatives aimed at combating crime, from community policing programs to economic revitalization efforts. They've even enlisted the help of basketball legend and Detroit native Isaiah Thomas to mentor at-risk youth. Now, I'm not saying Isaiah Thomas is single-handedly saving the city, but hey, every little bit helps, right? And while there's still a long way to go, there are glimmers of hope. Crime rates in Detroit have actually seen a slight decline in recent years, a testament to the hard work of law enforcement, community leaders, and residents. Detroit serves as a reminder that even in the face of adversity, even when the odds seem stacked against you, there is always hope for change. From Motown to Charm City, our next stop takes us to Baltimore, Maryland. Home to the Inner Harbor, delicious crab cakes, and unfortunately, a rather alarming crime problem. Baltimore is a city of stark contrasts. You've got historic neighborhoods with cobblestone streets and million-dollar brownstones, just a stone's throw away from areas plagued by poverty, crime, and a distinct lack of crab cakes. One of the biggest challenges facing Baltimore is its struggle with drug-related crime. The city has been hit hard by the opioid epidemic, and with it, a rise in violence associated with the drug trade. Another issue is the strained relationship between the police department and the community, particularly in the wake of high-profile incidents of police brutality. This lack of trust makes it that much harder to effectively address the root causes of crime. Now, Baltimore is trying. It really is. The city has implemented various programs, from youth outreach initiatives to job training programs, aimed at breaking the cycle of poverty and violence. But progress has been slow, and Baltimore remains a city grappling with deep-seated issues that require a multifaceted, long-term approach. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading south to Memphis, Tennessee, the birthplace of rock and roll, the barbecue capital of the world, and sadly, a city wrestling with a serious crime problem. Now, Memphis is a city with soul. It's got music in its veins, delicious food in its belly, and a whole lot of heart. And there's always a but, Memphis also has a crime rate that's enough to make Elvis spin in his grave. We're talking about a city where you're more likely to encounter a mugger than a street musician, where the only blues you're likely to hear are the sirens wailing in the distance. One of the biggest challenges facing Memphis is its high rate of property crime. From car thefts to burglaries, it seems like nobody's belongings are safe. In fact, you're more likely to have your car stolen in Memphis than you are to find a decent Elvis impersonator. And that's saying something. But Memphis, much like its musical legacy, is a city of resilience. There's been a push to address the root causes of crime, with a focus on poverty reduction, job creation, and improving educational opportunities. Will it be enough to turn the tide? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. Memphis is a city that's full of surprises, both good and bad. Hold on to your barbecue sauce, because we're heading to the heartland of America, Kansas City, Missouri. Known for its fountains, its jazz heritage, and unfortunately, a rather high homicide rate. Now, I know what you're thinking. Kansas City? Isn't that where they have those delicious ribs? And yes, the barbecue is truly exceptional. But sadly, so is the level of violence. Kansas City has consistently ranked among the most dangerous cities in the US, and 2025 is, sadly, no exception. We're talking about a city where the sound of gunshots is as common as the sizzle of a grill, where you're more likely to encounter a drive-by shooting than a drive-through. Local officials have described the situation as unacceptable, and residents have expressed growing concern over the safety of their streets. One community leader was even quoted as saying, "It's like the Wild West out here, except instead of saloons, we have Starbucks." Kansas City is a city grappling with many of the same issues plaguing other urban centers: poverty, gang violence, and a lack of opportunity. But amidst the grim statistics, there are glimmers of hope. Community organizations are working tirelessly to provide support and resources to those in need. And there's a growing movement to address the root causes of crime. Next stop on our tour of unfortunate realities is Cleveland, Ohio, home to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Cleveland Browns, and, well, a crime rate that's anything but harmonious. Now, I'm not saying Cleveland is all doom and gloom. They've got a great art scene, beautiful parks, and a certain underdog charm. But let's not beat around the burning dumpster fire of reality here. Cleveland has a crime problem, and it's not just the petty stuff either. We're talking violent crime, my friends. In fact, Cleveland's violent crime rate is significantly higher than the national average. To put that in perspective, it's a bit like going to a Browns game expecting a win. Technically possible, but the odds are stacked against you. Now, Cleveland isn't just sitting back and letting crime run rampant. The city has implemented various initiatives from increased police presence to community outreach programs, but it's a bit like trying to put out a 5-alarm fire with a garden hose. The problems run deep, and they require complex long-term solutions. So while Cleveland might be home to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it's also a stark reminder that even in the land of rock and roll, sometimes the music stops, and reality bites. Our final stop on this grim American road trip takes us to Oakland, California, known for its beautiful weather, its vibrant arts scene, and sadly, a level of crime that casts a shadow over its sunny disposition. Now, Oakland is a city of contradictions. It's a place where you can find stunning views of the Bay, world-class restaurants, and a thriving arts community. But it's also a city where the threat of crime is an unfortunate reality for many residents. We're talking about a city where you're more likely to encounter a break-in than a breakthrough artist, where the only thing rising faster than the cost of living is the crime rate. Oakland has struggled with gang violence, property crime, and a lack of resources, particularly in underserved communities. The impact on the local community is undeniable. Businesses have been forced to close, residents live in fear, and the fabric of the community has been strained. Now, Oakland isn't taking this lying down. There's been a push for police reform, community policing initiatives, and investment in social programs. But the road to recovery is long and winding, and Oakland, much like the rest of the cities on our list, serves as a stark reminder of the challenges facing urban America. And so, our journey through America's most dangerous cities comes to an end. It hasn't been pretty, has it? We've confronted some uncomfortable truths, stared down some grim statistics, and hopefully gained a deeper understanding of the complex issues at play. But here's the thing. This isn't about fear-mongering. It's about starting a conversation, shining a light on a problem that often gets swept under the rug. Because behind every statistic, behind every news headline, there are real people, real communities grappling with the very real consequences of crime. And they deserve our attention, our empathy, and our action. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Let us know in the comments which city surprised you the most. Cheers!